Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dr. Brad from Kids Eating Broccoli Podcast, and there's my phone ringing. But I wanted to hop on here and talk about this. Is actually I just tried to do this Facebook Live a few minutes ago with Facebook's native live app, which actually kicked me off after 5 minutes, but apparently only recorded the first minute and 50 seconds. So I promise to keep it short. I won't go longer than a few minutes. Maybe that's why it tried to kick me off. I don't know. So anyway, what we're talking about is ADHD, and is ADHD just a money grab? So my interest in ADHD began many years ago when I read a report about the inception of the diagnosis of ADHD and how it was really originated at a big conference of the psychiatric industry, and their attempt was to create a way to get into the pharmacological world, because the psychoanalysis world was proving to be what could look like the end of the psychiatric industry. That's a topic for a whole nother post. But here's the thing about ADHD. The level and the number of diagnoses of ADHD has skyrocketed in the last 15, 20 years. It happens to be the only disease in our culture or in our diagnostic manuals that can be diagnosed by a non-physician, that has no blood tests, and has no laboratory tests. Is basically there's a checklist of symptoms or behaviors that either a teacher or a parent or a school nurse or anybody non-doctor oriented can check the list and cause for that diagnosis to be given to the kid. Now, we know through data, research, studies, all kinds of things like that, that this disorder, this series of symptoms, though real, these kids have a lot of difficulty focusing in school, studying, doing schoolwork. A lot of them have behavior challenges, mood swings, depression, difficulty with relationships. These are all actual and real things. But what we know is that a lot of these symptoms are actually caused by, or at least exacerbated significantly by, environmental factors. And one of the big ones really is dietary things. We know without a shadow of a doubt that things in the food supply, the adulteration, the theft of our food supply, and the addition of things like artificial food colorings and artificial and natural flavorings and food preservatives are a huge triggering and exacerbating factor in all of the symptoms that fall under the cloud of ADHD. We also know that a lifetime of eating preserved and dead and lifeless foods also can cause the symptoms of ADHD. The up and down roller coaster ride, the hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia roller coaster ride of eating a high sugar, high carbohydrate diet also causes for the symptoms that we notice with ADD, ADHD. So what happens is that a parent gets told their kid has this diagnosis, has this disorder, this disease called ADHD. And then they're handed a prescription. And they give the kids the drugs in most cases, and the kids have a symptom decrease. But what's not ever or rarely ever discussed is that, hey, your kid has this disease or this disorder that's actually being caused by the things they're eating or the things they're not eating. And if you just made these simple changes to their diet, if you just remove these highly triggering chemicals that cause brain inflammation and excitotoxicity in our nervous system, that these symptoms would get better and resolve, that your kid would have a better chance to have a higher functioning life, to really reach their full potential. If we were told as parents, all we need to do is add these nutritive foods to our kids' diet, and they won't have those fast mood swings anymore, and they won't have the depression that they're dealing with, and they will have energy to pursue the things that they're passionate about in life and to reach their full potential. But instead, we're handed a drug. And these drugs, keep in mind, are multi-billions and billions of dollar industry. And to have a collective population, children, that have this diagnosis, that has no blood tests and has no lab tests, that is just simply a checklist of behaviors. And then they're given this drug that feeds into a $100 billion industry. It really starts to make you wonder, it starts to make me wonder, how much of it is really just a cash grab on the backs of our children. certainly not unprecedented in the chemical industry there. Our history, our recent history, is littered with examples of the chemical industry making their fortunes on the backs of the health of the people of our country. And this really leads to a bigger topic, a bigger question about health in general in a lot of the drugs, because how many of the chronic illnesses that we are highly medicated for as a culture are really just as a result of lifestyle choices? And if we were to make simple changes to our diet and to our lifestyle and habit, how many of those drugs would not need to be taken? And how often is that the first thing we're offered and given as a real solution, and then the drug is only a last option to stave off death? So I wanted to drop that into the stream today and give a little food for thought. Go ahead, and if you're interested in hearing more, sharing more, talking to other parents with kids who are looking to be healthier, kids who are dealing with ADHD and so forth, jump onto our close Facebook community, Family Wellness Legacy. It's open, it's free. You just, go over there, Family Wellness Legacy, and sign up for that. I'll put you right in, and we have good conversations. I drop all kinds of different stuff in there. So check it out. Thanks for watching.